Hey there everyone, welcome to another episode of An Engineer's Guide to HellLetLoose. In this one we're going to take a look at a mid-cap point. This one's on the Driel map from the British perspective, and we're taking a look at Brick Factory. So you can see the red square here is the capable zone. You're in that, you're adding your cap weight. The blue lines show generally the ways that the axes are going to come at this. There's some barges. We'll take a look at those in game, and they use those to infiltrate across. There's some low ground here, and then they get up into the north side. Sometimes the east side as well, but usually the north side, and they attack through there. The other is this kind of east side push, at least, if you're the Brits. They're going to get back behind this road, capture some buildings out here, and then they're going to get into the cookie jar that is most of the British spawns that are there to protect Brick Factory. And so we're going to go in game now and take a look at what we're going to do. The short version is that I'm going to recommend most of the builds up here. I mean, there is sometimes an attempt to just infiltrate and hope nobody's looking at this top side. But if you can get west side control, you can start cutting into some of these attacking lanes. And then I have a if time permits for the really sweaty engineer who wants to complete this job. There is something I think we can do to disrupt this attack. All right, so if we need to orient ourselves, this is Brick Factory from the British perspective, looking towards German lines. That's the first kind of water infiltration ramp. That's the second that I was talking about. This is the north side entrance. There are two east side ones. This one's a little hard to see, but there it is. And there's the other one. And then the other attack path usually is coming from the bridge, getting behind here, getting to these sets of buildings, and then those are the buildings where you tend to hold a lot of spawns for the British. So what we can do as the engineer, my recommended build, and again, this is the pub engineer, you're on your own, maybe you're playing with a squad, this is a mid-cap, and so there's more travel time if you're going to be driving the supply trucks. I'm going to recommend some big barricades, and that stuff gets expensive, and so you kind of got to figure what do you want to do? But my recommended build is to focus on protecting this western part, and you can see we're going to be almost to the edge of the map. There is this building here, and if we're down at infantry height, right, that's not infantry height. We're well protected from German armors, MGs, all that fun stuff that's going to be shooting at us from across the way there. Since we're going to have spawns here, and they want to be able to get to and protect the hard cap, and since we have at the very edge of the map, we have some peaks into one or both, depending on what they're shooting, of those infiltration routes. I am going to recommend building our barricades up here. So I think a level 3 barricade, as much as you can, as far north on this road as you can without coming all the way down the hill. I would certainly put my first one there. In terms of supply drops, I would just drive the truck right in here, and I would just drop the supplies here. And if you're going to do supply runs early, if you get a friend, again, who's willing to do this for you, that's great, because that travel time is going to be huge. Anyways, you get your level 3 barricade down there. I would suggest probably another one here as well if you can manage it. A third one, let's see, it's this tree is our marker of what is out of bounds. If you can get one up here, and it gives an MG, or perhaps even sighted behind it, an AT gun, peeks into at least that barge crossing, if range permits the further one. But disrupting that and helping you get west side control of Brick Factory can allow other friendlies to move up this stone wall if they're not getting shot from over there, and then they can start getting in real close, wiping any spawns that get established back here, and forcing the attackers to defend rather than attack. So definitely 3 level 3 barricades. I like a repair station where you can get it down in this defilade. Friendly armor is probably going to come from that direction. Enemy armor usually shows up over there, and so building up those big barricades should help your armor, should help the infantry as well. But if that's not enough and you're not around with the blowtorch to repair them, at least they have a tank repair station there. So that would be the primary for me. I'm not going to recommend what I see a lot of other people do, which is just overbuild the hard cap. I mean, this is kind of closer to the hard cap than I like to build, but anyways, it is what it is. My second, slightly sweatier, or if time permits build, is to do something about that east side push that right? Once they get to those buildings, it's a run back here. You should have either the bunker or a level 3 barricade. So this was kind of a flex build if you wanted to do a bunker or the fourth barricade here that I didn't talk about. I mean, if it's angled out this way, you can shoot anybody who gets into the berm. If it's a little bit more forward, all right, then that probably gives more concealment to friendlies who are running there. But you should have that one construction left. You put that one construction here, and then in front of it, I'd have a line of barbed wire flared out here, 2 strands, and then another 2 strands further back, and then your construction somewhere over here. So maybe a friendly MG rifleman. I mean, at this range, almost anybody should be able to shoot anybody pressing in from that side. The last, the super if time permits build, you could probably do this by going support once, dropping supplies around here, and then coming back as the engineer. And here you have tank traps left, and I haven't really talked about where to place this. I think it's so cheap and quick to build, it might actually be worth it to do at least 1 here, if not 2, because that is the only easy north side opening. By the way, they can go up and over the wall here. Also, if you haven't found this out as the Brits, if you go prone on that box right there and you peek through there, you can... I was doing this on the other side when the Brits were attacking us from this direction. I was doing this with an MP40. You can disrupt that attack path single-handedly. They dropped precision strikes on me, grenades, machine guns. They couldn't kill me back there. Well, whatever. You have, I believe, 1 tank trap left. You could put it right there, or you could put an AP mine just inside of it. I think the tank trap makes a little bit more sense to put out there. So that would be it for your constructions. After that, you have anti-tank mines and anti-personnel mines as the basic British engineer loadout. I'd actually be okay with just anti-tank mines along the road. I would assume that they're not going to be able to get in from the west if you've done the other things and the match is reasonably close. So I would say anti-tank mines flared out here. If they're going to spend time shooting them, let them do that. Don't put them... I want to get it. You can decide how to put them. If you put them in shadows, they are harder to see. Remember, the closer you place them, it is tempting to place them back here, but remember, a lot of bombing runs and artillery are going to fall on that anyways. So you can put them where you want, but I think that that would do something to disrupt enemy tanks coming in from the east without hindering friendly armor. And then AP mines, for whatever's left, I would recommend you scatter them in the backside of this or in this field out here to try to decrease the pressure from that east side, because if you guys get established in here, that river crossing ain't going to work if you guys have armor superiority and some MGs, and so they're going to probably have to press in from the east, and those AP mines will help supplement the build that's over there. All right, folks, hopefully that gives you something to chew on here if you are dealing with the task of defending Brick Factory here as the Brits. And yeah, look forward to bringing you more in the future.